they had tried. Well, let's just say this: it was a tenancy dispute. The tenancy dispute. They wanted to remove us as tenants from our occupation in the premises in the park. Now, the simple reason was they wanted to try and double the rent. Now, everybody accepts that rent increases on a annual or 3-year basis or whatever the case may be. That's accepted, and I've got no argument with that whatsoever. However, when you get somebody who tries to double the rent, it will not provide any valuation for it at all, who refuses to engage their professional with our professional to arrive at a sensible figure, who won't entertain any form of negotiation, and that's highly inappropriate. Left us in the position, having spent all the money that we did in the premises, with no alternative but to issue proceedings to have in the High Court to have the lease renewed, which is what we did.
And you won that.
And we won the case. Yeah, but the important thing is we won the case with costs against Onchan Commissioners, which were in excess of £10,000. Yes. Now, a lot of people don't know that, but that's a matter of fact. Now, what they did was when we issued our action, they defended that action, and as a matter of record, and this is here, this is actually a section from their defence. One of the only reasons, let me say this first, one of the only reasons where a landlord can get a commercial tenant out of a property is if he wants the property back for himself, for his own use. Now, that's what they said. Now, I think, everybody in Iisle of Man knows the commissioners don't run businesses, they run the commissioners. But they said the commissioners are proposing a general redevelopment of the business premises in Onchan Park. In the scheme of the redevelopment will involve demolition, alteration and or reconstruction of the buildings within Onchan Park. Now, you and I know perfectly well that this was several years ago. Nothing's happened, nothing's going to happen. And there was no plans in place, there was no proposal discussed or anything of that nature whatsoever. In fact, it gets worse than that for them, because we have a situation here where one of the commissioners at a board meeting specifically said he expressed disappointment in the way the matter had been handled. He felt that lawyers' fees were increasing and the authority had used the redevelopment of Onchan Park as an excuse. There had been no funding set aside and no business proposals discussed. So they actually went on to defend that case. And
okay. To finish us off then, do you think that was one person there, aggrieved against you? Is this gone personal?
I have
to ask that again to you.
I know you're telling me that I can't say that, but I know
what
the position
personal?
was.
Do you think it's
absolutely
personal?
not.
So this is the commissioners in general, not about one person?
Absolutely not. We didn't issue our proceedings against one person. We issued our proceedings against...
No, but I'm asking you, do you think it was one person particularly that has a problem, or do you think it was just the commissioners in general? I'm trying to get to the bottom of where... if you've got a grievance with this person.
No, I haven't got any grievance with anybody. Right. I mean, I'm just reporting the facts.
Yes.
But
I'm asking you a question about if it's, seen it might be that you think one person particularly is against you or whatever. I mean, how's that?
Well, I don't really care if one person is against me.
Didn't ask you that. I said, do you think there is one person against you?
No, what I do know, Paul, is that Onchan Commissioners, they filed a defence to our claim, which was a deliberate lie. Now, I also know that lie amounts to perjury, because I know you cut me short, but just let me say this. Okay. Please, let me say this, because these are matters of fact, right? They said that, what I've just read out to you there. Then the clerk files an affidavit, which is a statement of truth on oath, and says the contents of their defence is true to the best of his knowledge and belief. Deliberate lie, perjury. Now, they then go on. This is actually confirmed later on in one of the minutes, where the chairman at the time, let me find the one, the chairman says, he commented, swearing something on oath and finding the oath to be a lie was perjury and punishable by imprisonment. Right? Now, It was a lie. We all know. Anybody who watches this, who lives in the Isle of Man, will know there was never, ever, ever any intention of demolishing the buildings in Onchan Park. Any suggestion that there was is ridiculous and a lie. Okay. So they defended our action in the High Courts, which went on for nearly a year, and squandered £10,000 of ratepayers' money on a defence that that it was a lie. Not only that, they were told by, let me find this one as well, where the actual advocate says to them, there is no defence to the proceedings. Right?
Fine.
Okay. So, no defence to the proceedings as far as the commissioners are concerned. Under the terms of the Business Premises Act, this is what I told you before, the only grounds which could be used to contest proceedings are that the commissioners require the premises for their own use, for redevelopment as part of a scheme of refurbishment, etc. However, there would need to be an affidavit showing evidence as to what the scheme consisted of, architects' plans, etc., which the authority at this moment in time do not have. Right. Deliberate lie, perjury.
And you don't need to cover that, and allegedly you're happy with what you're saying there?
Because I it's there in black and white.
Yeah.
It's there in black. Now, not only that, I engaged the services of an eminent QC, and I got a report, an opinion of the QC, who, and I've got that there as well, who clearly points out that what went on was perjury.
Okay. There's obviously an ongoing thing here. I have to now say everything is what you said. You're happy with what you said. I, of course, go with obviously trying to balance this out. And if anyone from Onchan Commissioners wants to do retort to this, go on camera to do an interview, I'm very happy to do that to balance things up.
Well,
anyway,
one final thing. If you just let me give you this one final piece of information, which is a few years later. I asked a question. I sent various information to Onchan Commissioners and asked them a question about this fiasco, about the £10,000 costs in Onchan Park there. And I have a letter back from the Commissioners, which is in here, in which Robert Turton, who was chairman at the time, signed the letter, and he said that Onchan Commissioners were not, the legal fees were not awarded against Onchan Commissioners. Now, either he didn't know, because this was in 2012 for 13 or 14. He didn't know, or he was deliberately lying. I don't know which it is.
Or misled, yeah.
Or misled, but he certainly said that.
And you've got it in black and white that you got the money.
Yeah, if you...
I can, yeah, you said it already, so...
Yeah,
I'm trying to wrap this up now because there's so much there. What are you going to do next? Let's just try that. It's a final question. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm not going to do anything. I think I'm certainly not going to vote for Derek Crellin.
Okay. Again, other people are standing, so...
Well, yeah, I'll vote for the people who have the principles that I think are sound and correct. But I'm not going to vote for somebody who is presided over matters such as this. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
In my view, because of the information I've got in my possession, which I'm perfectly prepared to share with anyone, which I've got, Derek Crellin has no place in that board, none whatsoever. He's a loose cannon. He works autonomously from everyone else. And it's not an autocracy, Paul. It's a democracy.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us today. And yet again, I do say that this is your opinion. Others might have other opinions. And once again, if we can balance this up in any way, please feel free to get into contact with me.